Welcome to the Powerline Podcast, the official podcast of GreyStone Power. I'm your host, Adam Elrod. On this month's episode, we're talking about communications and how we communicate to you, our members, with Manager of Public Relations and Communications, Ashley Kinnard. So sit back, relax, and enjoy episode number 13 of the Powerline Podcast. Communicating with members is a vital part of any cooperative. At GreyStone, that task falls to the Public Relations and Communications Department. And today's guest is the Manager of Public Relations and Communications, Ashley Kinnard. Ashley, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for inviting me, Adam.
Can you give members a little bit of background about what your job entails at GreyStone?
Sure. I manage a team of 5 employees and am responsible for overseeing all of our external and our internal communications. We serve more than 123,000 members in 8 counties, and we have a lot of great tools for communicating with members as well as the general public about our programs, services, and all the great things that GreyStone is doing in the community. Internally, we have about 264 employees as well as our board and retirees. So there are a lot of different audiences that my team and I are communicating with every day.
So full disclosure for everybody listening, I'm actually a member of the department. So since this is my boss, everybody go rate the podcast 5 stars. But I know one question that we always receive is, why do we communicate as an oligopoly? Would you explain to members why we communicate at GreyStone?
We know that for our residential members, they do not have a choice in who their power provider is, but as an electric cooperative owned by the members we serve, we should always operate as if our members do have a choice. There are 7 cooperative principles that all co-ops follow, and one of those principles is education, training, and information. So we have a duty to all of our members to keep them informed about what's happening at GreyStone and how they can participate in the business of their co-op. And I also believe that in this day and age, it's vital that our members know that we are a trusted source of information.
Some members may not know what we actually communicate with all of our different messaging. What types of information do we communicate at GreyStone?
Well, Adam, we try to be really in tune with what our members are interested in, which covers a lot, everything from electric vehicles to saving money to power restoration in the event of a major storm. One big thing that my department tries to communicate to members through all of our different communication avenues is the cooperative difference. And what that means is that there are certain perks that you benefit from as a member, which may be surprising if you're someone who, say, you just moved to our service area and you're used to being served by like a big investor-owned utility. Those members who have been with us for a while are probably familiar with our capital credits. That's one of the many nice things about being part of a not-for-profit cooperative. GreyStone returns money every fall to current and former members, and it's in the form of a check. And some of the other benefits of being part of the co-op include participating in our annual meeting and electing local board members to represent your interests.
Anyone listening right now, of course, knows about the podcast. Where else does the co-op communicate?
Whether you prefer your news and information in print or electronically, we have a publication for you. There's a monthly newsletter called eConnect that we email to members, and we have our GreyStone Minute video. We also have a printed newsletter that goes out in the bills. It's called Energizing Your Life. I know I personally enjoy magazines, so if you're someone who likes to read magazines, we have the GreyStone Connection newsletter, and that wraps the Georgia magazine. Another way that we like to communicate and interact with our members is through social media, primarily on Facebook. That's one of our best tools. And of course, our website is a great resource for members on so many different topics.
Over the past 12 episodes, different guests have mentioned how we're innovative and forward-thinking as a company, and some of our communications outlets would fall into that. Are there any future communication tools that we're looking at implementing?
Based on the results of a communication survey that was conducted this year, we're exploring some new tools to implement in the coming years that will improve convenience for our members. We're looking at making some changes to our website and incorporating a new tool to answer members' questions. And another thing that we would like to see happen is combining our two apps into one streamlined app. And we also know that many of our members are interested in receiving text during power outages, so we're working hard on that as well.
Now, our department is fairly magnanimous about our accomplishments, but I thought I'd give you a minute to talk about the different accomplishments we have gained over the last few years so members can understand exactly how hard we are working for them and trying to communicate to them. What are some awards or accomplishments that GreyStone has received over the past few years?
Well, I'm proud of the fact that we have 5 certified cooperative communicators at GreyStone. You know, the CCC designation demonstrates a level of commitment and excellence in the practice of electric co-op communications. And it's not just something you achieve and then you're just done. You know, it's an ongoing commitment. It requires continuing education units each year. And I do feel blessed to be part of a team that's won so many awards over the years for our communication efforts. And I think that speaks to the quality of the work. But the biggest thing for me is that we're all focused on continuous improvement for our members. And that really reflects our mission of making life better in the communities we serve.
So I ask everybody the same last question. Anything else you'd like to tell our members?
I hope that through our communications, we can be a good, trusted resource for our members. And, you know, if they do have questions on anything such as solar panels or electric vehicles, I just want them to know that we have folks at GreyStone who are happy to help.
Ashley, thank you so much for the time and being with us today.
Thank you, Adam.
Well, that is all the time we have today. Thank you so much for being with us. Make sure you go and rate us 5 stars and subscribe to the podcast as well. Share it with friends, family, coworkers, anybody you know to let them learn all about their electric cooperative. This has been the Powerline Podcast. Thanks for listening.